The one chosen one. Stop. Put an end to everything. Listen with all of your heart and silence all of your inner voices. There is a purpose to this moment. Before your mother's womb developed you, it was engraved into you forever. The Lord, who has witnessed the unseen tears, the restless nights that no one else knows about, and the silent prayers that never left your lips, has now come to make everything clear. He does not address the general public with this word. He isn't letting the wind carry a hazy message. The person he is speaking to has been separated, forged in silence, and awakened by agony that cannot be identified. You're that one. You have been selected. And November has been chosen by God from the invisible world as a crucial time of year. It is the month of separation, purification, and rebirth. A time when the chosen one will experience a holy retreat. Someone is going to disappear from your life. It's because revelation is approaching, not because of failure or punishment. There is no cruelty or randomness to this vanishing. The last exam before the gates of glory open is this one. You've prayed for too long. You've been waiting long enough. Even if your spirit was bleeding invisibly, you have persevered, forgiven, stayed silent, and shown love. And the Lord won't wait now. He'll be straightforward. He will act and he will split. However, before naming the departing individual, he wants you to get ready with your spirit rather than your brain. Because this departure will be different from the others, it will be the last cutting, paving the way for a whole new and magnificent time of year. November will be a pivotal month in your life, so get ready for what is ahead. And everything will change forever after this. What has been concealed in silence must now be revealed to the chosen one. Heaven itself has ordained a separation for the month of November. One will abruptly and irrevocably leave the path, even if they were previously a friend, a consoling presence, or even a supernatural connection. And while it could appear sudden to the human intellect, it is actually a well-thought-out act of divine intervention. Your spirit has long been confused by this individual. Even though they appear familiar, they have been a subtle obstacle that has prevented you from seeing your calling clearly. Their whispered words have been both healing and hurtful, supportive but controlled, and loved with conditions. Far longer than was originally anticipated, the chosen one has carried this soul. You persevered, hoped for a recovery, and were patient, but now heaven says, their time is over. You have to realize that losing this individual is not a loss, it's liberating. They have taken up too much of the holy space in your heart that was meant for God's promise. Though initially intentional, their presence has now cast a shadow on your development. The Lord is now cutting off what no longer fits with His plan for your life, out of kindness and sovereign wisdom. God's presence is unavoidable, even if we choose to ignore Him. The world is full of Him. Everywhere He goes, He is invisible. The spiritual emancipation you are feeling is revealed by this reality. God's unavoidable presence is at work when this individual is removed. He is removing invisible obstacles to realign your heart with His promise and ensure your growth in accordance with His will. Yes, the agony of recollection, the sting of being gone, and the hollow sound of unsolved questions will all arrive. The selected one, however, hears this truth from the Lord. I would rather cry in accordance with my wishes than celebrate the solace of postponement. Their leaving is not a penalty. There's a release. When you start putting people before God, God will intervene and sometimes take them away to refocus your attention, adds Saldivar. Spiritual equilibrium is upset when a connection turns into an idol and becomes more important than your relationship with God. God might take such people out of your life in order to help you refocus your attention on Him and realign your priorities. God wants you to become sharper through your connections. God may take away those who are detrimental to your spiritual well-being, according to Saldivar. God may remove people from your life who are preventing you from growing spiritually or from being comfortable in order to provide space for relationships that will push and inspire you on your spiritual path. Those whom the Lord loves are disciplined by Him. As part of loving discipline, God will end a relationship if it is causing you to sin or drift away from Him, says Saldivar. God has the power to cut off relationships that take you in the wrong direction, just as a father can chastise a child out of love. This is a correction, not a rejection. According to Saldivar, God may be making room for someone new when He removes someone. Letting go of one person might sometimes allow place for someone who is more in line with your life's purpose. God is constantly trying to make your relationships fit His bigger picture. Losing someone you care about can put your beliefs to the test. Saldivar notes, God can separate you to see if you trust Him fully. When God takes individuals out of your life, it's a chance to strengthen your faith and have more faith that He knows what's best, even when it's difficult to comprehend. Some individuals will force you to stick to such outdated habits. Saldivar says, God can take them away so you can walk in freedom. You may be prevented from living the new life God has planned for you by people from your past. You can walk in spiritual freedom and end harmful cycles by severing these ties. Saldivar highlights that not everyone you now know is destined to be a part of your journey. A season is all that some relationships are supposed to last. Even if it means letting go of those you believed were permanent, have faith that when God removes someone, He is doing it to bring your life into alignment with His purpose. Saldivar goes on to say, God desires to be your ultimate source of peace, joy, pleasure, and life. God may eliminate connections to bring you closer to Himself if they start to serve as crutches that take the place of your reliance on Him. God should always be the source of your closest relationship. When people leave your life, it isn't always a coincidence. Sometimes it's God's loving hand at work, guiding you toward protection, growth, and a deeper relationship with Him. Trust the process even when it's hard, because God's plans are always for your good. According to Saldivar, God sees their intentions and hidden dangers that might be within their heart that you can't see. People in our lives can occasionally harbor invisible threats, such as poisonous attitudes or destructive behaviors that put not just our physical health but also our souls in jeopardy. Even though it may hurt at the time, God may remove these people as a protective measure. Avoid forming alliances with unbelievers. How can wickedness and righteousness coexist? Saldivar clarifies. Spiritual development might be hampered by relationships that distance us from our faith. God may remove you from people who don't fit with His plan for your life, whether that be in friendships, sexual relationships, or professional alliances. Remember, God removed them for a reason, and perhaps it's just for a season, but you're treading on dangerous territory when you become the decider. Because chances are, you're not using godly wisdom, but rather making decisions out of emotional distress. The truth is, leaving bad relationships is hard, even the ones that are terribly toxic for you. Pain from your past and old wounds can keep you trapped in something far beneath God's best for you. When you are faced with difficult decisions about removing people from your life, it can be easy to feel lost and unsure of what to do. However, it's important to remember that there may be signs God is trying to remove someone from your life. If you have a pattern of picking poor partners or allowing others to influence your otherwise good judgment, you will need to train yourself to trust God for guidance and not your own understanding or emotional distress. God is protecting you from possible hurt, disappointment, or distraction that could thwart the wonderful things He has for you by taking someone out of your life. Furthermore, this elimination procedure is also about developing one's faith and character. It teaches us to depend only on God and not on other people. It challenges us to grow stronger, more trustworthy, and closer to our Creator. When God cuts away what isn't needed, He's telling you to make your faith stronger and pay more attention to His words. Learn to hear God better and walk more freely during this time. It can be a very spiritual awakening. Cutting can also be a time to get better, not only getting rid of the bad things, but also making what's left better. God takes someone away to say, I want to make your heart, mind, and environment better so you can become the person I made you to be. This process of refining can help people heal from past hurts, find new meaning in life, and see clearly in a way that wasn't possible before. It's important to have faith in this process instead of fear. Ask God what He wants to teach you through this, instead of asking why this is happening to you. How does this make me stronger? When you know that trimming means God loves you and wants you to grow, you can look forward to the cutting instead of feeling hopeless. Do not forget that trimming is never over. It's an important step toward a better start. It gets you ready for the next part of your life, a level where you will have more freedom, bear more fruit, and receive more of God's gifts. Fruit trees get too big and stop producing fruit if they aren't pruned. In the same way, you risk stagnation, unfulfilled potential, and missed chances if you don't let God prune your life. You also need to be patient with this process. It takes time for plants to grow again after being pruned. As you go through life without that person, you may feel weak or uncertain at times, but have faith that God's time is right. He is making everything work out for your good. Keep your heart open, even if you can't see it right away. Stay close to God through prayer and reading His Word, and you'll see new relationships and doors open that fit with His plan for your life. You should know that God's trimming is always done with love. It is not meant to hurt you or separate you. It is meant to lovingly lead you to your fate. He keeps His eye on the bigger picture, the life He has planned for you, and works hard to make that plan come true. If God takes someone out of your life this November, know that it's not a loss but a divine gain. It's God's way of saying, I am making room for something better. Trust me and watch how I use this change to make something beautiful. Your progress, your growth, and your future all rely on this pruning. Take it to heart and step out in faith into the next part God has written just for you. When God takes someone out of your life, it's a powerful sign that He loves you. This law isn't just about separating people. It's a divine clearing that makes room for more blessings, chances, and progress that God has planned just for you. Realizing this can change how you feel about what at first might seem like loss, and turn it into a powerful revelation of God's care and direction. One of the most beautiful and strong things in a believer's life is God's favor. His boundless kindness, His supernatural gift, is what makes doors open where there were walls and paths appear where there seemed to be only dead ends. In many cases, when God takes someone out of your life, it means that He is getting ready to bless you in big, new ways. This taking away means that God is making room for you to receive more of His goodness, blessings, and support. Picture it as a garden. The soil needs to be cleared of weeds and old roots that block new life. Only then can you put new seeds and see new growth. God's favor is like good dirt. It can't grow if there are a lot of things or people in your life that make it hard to grow. God is doing the spiritual cleaning when He takes someone out of your life. He is getting rid of anything that could stop His flower gifts. In this case, it means that God is setting you up for new times of growth and success. This clearing is also a way to keep people safe. People who, whether they knew it or not, were in the way of your breakthrough are sometimes taken out of your life by God. Their presence may have stopped you by discouraging you, making you feel bad, or even by giving you a sneaky doubt. The favor of God doesn't grow in places that are heavy, negative, or limited. By getting rid of these things, God is making a holy place where His favor can grow and spread. It's important to know that God's favor is not something you win by being good or doing a great job. It's a gift from Him, a reward from God. But, like all blessings, It needs a heart and a place that is ready to accept it. God's act of removing you is how He gets your heart and surroundings ready to receive His favor. He is getting you ready to step boldly into the fullness of what He has promised. It's often a sign that God is sending someone else when He takes someone away. Someone who is a better fit for your life, your purpose, and your future. The empty room left by taking something away is a place of waiting. It's just right for something bigger to come in. That space is ready to be filled with new connections, relationships, and chances that are all in line with God's will and plan for your life. In strange but effective ways, this is how God's favor works. This removal is not a punishment or refusal. It is a sign that God is very much involved in your life, and this is His way of showing you that He is working hard for your good. Seeing being taken away as a sign of favor changes the way you look at your life from one of hopelessness to one of hope. Now you believe that God's plans are much better than your own, and that what He takes away today is only making room for what He wants to add tomorrow. There is also a spiritual idea at play here. People who are ready to trust God's plan and let go always get what they want. Holding on to what God is taking away makes it harder for you to receive. When you let go of faith, on the other hand, you make room for God's best. Doing this takes bravery and humility, but it opens up a life full of gifts and divine chances. Don't go out in fear, go out with fire. Not with doubt, but with fate. For the one you picked. And what comes next will be much more important than what came before. So the picked one takes a step forward, becoming lighter, smarter, cleaner, and stronger. Not the same, different every time. They were marked by obedience and dressed in glory. They were ready for what was written on the scroll of heaven long before time started. This is the start. That's it for the showing. People who stay strong in the wilderness, enjoy the silence and follow orders even when it costs them, everything will get this prize. The selected one is no longer ready to wait. They've come. Type, "I receive it, Lord," in the comments. If you know this word came from the Lord because it made your heart stir, your eyes well up, and your spirit knows, let heaven write down your answer. As you wait, let the sound of surrender break the quiet. Now is the time for your agreement. You're not speaking for other people. This is your answer to God. Show Him your yes. Let Him know that you obeyed. Type it now. I accept it, Lord.